everyone is able to be a leader. To be a leader, you have to be, first and foremost, you have to be humble. I'm not a humble person by nature. Also, I'm a selfish person. I'm definitely. Plenty of people that are watching this probably think at one point that they've witnessed me being obnoxious or selfish or not insensitive.
Congratulations, you're human.
Right, exactly. Congratulations, I'm human. You know that Moses, it says in the Torah, Moses was the most humble person that ever lived on the face of the earth. And so humility is an absolute necessity for a leader. Now, what does it mean, humility? Humility doesn't mean to think of yourself as nothing and just do nothing. Then that means you're not a leader. You have to have this balance between enough pride to push you, to inspire you, and enough humility to remind you who and what you are. And so I guess I think that a lot of this realizations I've been coming to about myself may be this building sense of humility, which for me again does not come naturally. To say that so you have humble beginnings, you have a humble background. You're not the greatest thing since sliced bread. You have challenges also, but going through those challenges, talking about them, and actually being open about them, is what inspires others. And so I've come to this realization that being me, and with all the baggage that comes with it, and obviously not in a toxic way, it is what helps me do what I'm doing. And so I'm not naturally a leader, at least from the way I feel.
Which surprises me, because I would have thought that you, again, meeting you, he was for sure head of all the Jewish groups growing up in high school and undergrad. He was head of the sports teams. Like, I would have seen you always in that position. That's what I would have envisioned. And farther from the truth.
No, farthest from the truth. Farthest from the truth. I even told my wife, I said, you know what? I came to terms, I'd always feared, kind of going back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, in the fear of seeing people that I grew up with. And I told my wife recently, you know what? I came this epiphany, if I was invited to my high school, reunion, and I left high school early because I was on my life journey. I was moving on, and I went straight from high school into yeshiva, into rabbinical school, and it completely changed my paths. And I realized that if I was invited to a reunion, I actually might go, because I am who I am. I have nothing to be ashamed about. And I was a kid that got a lot of flack in school, and I don't care. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of who I am. And so that is, again, I'm not coming here to lecture people about leadership. There are plenty of people that can do that.
But we're certainly motivating them and helping inspire to find their path, their role.
Right, and I would say the same thing about you. I wouldn't have thought that you have these struggles also, but that's exactly the point. You see, being a leader means that the person you are today is a result of those struggles. And some of the real the coaches out there, the guys that talk about leadership, the ones at least that have their heads screwed on straight, talk about how they have their own struggles as well, and how they've become who they are as a result of picking themselves up from those struggles.